As an ancient linguistic xenopaleoanthropologist, I sit here gazing up into the cosmos, wondering what stories existed out there. Stories from ancient xeno civilizations possibly dating in the tens, the thousands, the millions, even perhaps in the billions of years past. But of all the stories that ever existed, I believe that this story, the oldest xeno myth in existence, remains the most captivating. In layman's terms, it is known as the Epic of Queen Learptulla, savior of the Organi drones. But to us grand academics, it is known as the Tablet Collections of ACC 225-307L, ACC 225-307N, and ACC 225-307LN. Written in the xeno text Organis, these were carved upon several ancient aluminium alien tablets that were buried deep within a 3.2-kilometer-long asteroid skimming past Earth. Its message is so complex and ever-changing, its truth so deep, regardless of which interpretation you go with, preferably mine, of course. With the eons past and these xeno civilizations long dead, it remains poignant to we humans today. Well, maybe to my own life at least. The years I have dedicated to this translation have led me through tragic alcoholism, sciatica, a damaged marriage, and a neglected son. But do not let my personal gripes deter you from my life's work as I near the deadline for my 5th edition to these revised translated pieces. This current version, my current version, is the greatest version ever told. Chapter 1, Aluminium Plate 1, Section 1. The tablets begin. In the depths of the dark void, a reptilian cargo spacecraft, Margolis, drifted sluggishly. Its thickly plated hull fell victim to the unforgiving nature of the cosmos by way of an underestimated meteor storm. It lingers through the dark void, wounded, bleeding radiation from its punctured engines, leaking air from its depressurizing floors, and crying on all channels.
The space sirens scream loud to feast on our sordid souls. But do not give in to their alluring temptation, lads. Hurry up and get the reactor back online.
Damn the void, Captain. Radiation leaks still seep through our welds. The interface computers have gone awry and have opened all the docking bays.
Then may the space goddess Nameka enjoy the spoils of our labor.
Woe came to the unfortunate cryo-sleepers being flushed into the dark void. In an instant they awoke only to die in the cold and pressureless hell. But not all decks of the Margolis opened. It was only the 10th through 6th. On the 5th deck, power lines were damaged from the storm, leaving its hydraulic docking doors unable to move. This triggered the backup generators to reset all cryo tanks of that floor, forcing a hard awakening for the captives within.
What? What? Where am I?
A young woman awoke who appeared physically perfect in every way. Her beauty was the desirable standard in all of the universe, and therefore pointless to describe her features any further. She herself were not aware of her own physical perfection. Her thoughts were a haze. Her memories were scattered, fractured, and asynchronous. She was null of her identity, yet her skills and abilities remained mysteriously intact. All that remained in her memory was the name Learptulla. Wait, no, that cannot be right. I don't remember this note at all. Did my graduate student Mindy put this in? Hold on. No, this is, okay. Oh, no, this is correct. The doors broke open as large, slender beings resembling upright reptilian anthropoids entered the bay. They carried trident spear-like pulse cannons. Their gray armor was wretched, scaled, rusted, and rough. Their helmets were engraved with the depictions of reptilian mythic demons of the past. Their presence brought terror among the awakening Organi drone. Learptulla instinctually clenched her fists and charged at the guards.
Who is that Organi running towards us? That face, so stunning. Her body, so sensual. Her utter being, so perfect. Halt!
Head back to your cryotanks now.
As contagious as a cold, the other Organi drones joined in her insurrection. For reasons unknown, she knew how to use a pulse cannon rifle now in her hands. She executed the first guard, then the second, then the third and the fourth.
Is that what we need to do? Kill them?
Learptulla clothed herself in the dead guard's shattered armor. She lifted her pulse rifle spear.
We take the ship!
We take the ship!
We take the ship!
Hold on. This room, I think I can read their language. This room has weapons. I know what kind of rifles these are. It carries 2 triggers, and you have to firmly hold it with 2 hands.
Thanks. But I feel more comfortable with this. More natural. Forgive me, but do you remember what your name is?
I think they used to call me Green.
Well, Green. Hand me that blaster as well, and pass more down to the others. They might remember how to use these too. Quickly! Return fire and zigzag up the corridors to avoid being shot. We will secure this deck or we die trying.
But as Learptulla and her newfound friend struggled to stay alive within the halls between Deck 4 and 5, another hero awoke in Deck 3.
Where am I?
The delirious figure was a silicone life form who appeared as translucent as yellowed quartz, but as dense as the thickest of steel.
Ouch. Ouch, you shot me. You're all shooting at me. Why do the burns not kill me? Why do my burns glow? And why does it make me angry?
As the reptilians continued to fire, the silicone being angrily raised his hand and released large white-hot fire beams at a sheer intensity that disintegrated all who harmed him. But as the reptilians fired on the anthropoid made of stone, Learptulla and Green entered the deck.
Free the sleeping.
They've cut us off.
It's our only chance.
Those cannons are too powerful. We're not gonna last long.
Everyone take cover.
But if I can get to those doors, I think we can seal it from our side and open the docking bay on the other.
It's good enough for me. We lay down support fire.
We might not need it. Look, they keep firing at the Organi drone made of stone. They should be ripping him apart, but he still stands.
He's not just standing. He's glowing. The laser beams must be giving him energy.
He just keeps heading towards them. How is he not dead?
It doesn't matter. He's a diversion. Quickly, get to the doors and close them. Hurry! I don't think he can take much more.
2 minutes.
How did you do that?
I felt harmed. I grew angry. I then aimed my hand at them.
Do you remember who you are?
All I remember is my name, Icon.
Unlike the other decks of the ship, Deck 2 carried finer goods and products. The lighting and temperature were dimmer and cooler to keep certain merchandise from overheating or rotting. Among all the bounty rested a different kind of cryotank as well. These were larger and equipped with specialized compartments filled with custom melee weapons. But just as all other cryotanks throughout the bottom decks, the power surge also affected them no different.
Look, that one's wakening. Take aim. Keep the guns at the ready.
Similar to Learptulla, he was perfect and galactically universal in his handsomeness. But unlike Learptulla, his magnificent body was scarred, torn, and riddled with bionic life-preserving augmentations. Wait, what? What? Augmentation? Apologies, I might have to double-check with Mindy's notes on this one. I really think she added this without talking to me about it. Let me continue.
Look at him! So handsome for a non-reptilian. So anatomically correct for his non-reptilian form. I mean, how dare he leaves his cryotank? You there, Organi drone. Stand down and remain in your tank, else face the consequences.
Are you a new patron?
I shudder for any reptilian who is burdened to be your master. Now do as I say unless you want to die.
Death? But I most definitely wish for life.
Within a fraction of a second, the awakened Organi drone hit a button that opened a compartment to a curved gladius.
Oh, you stabbed me.
My brothers and sisters of the sword, I salute you. You must be the Free they spoke about.
His eyes, so magnificent.
His physique, so anatomically perfect.
He's just as perfect as you.
I'm not perfect.
Learptulla, is it really you?
How do you know my name?
Do you remember me?
No.
Then it is true, and you are wiped. I am Prixus, Master Secutor, the champion of Capua 9.
Join us. We're all champions here. We have an engineer who hacked the ship, and a practically invulnerable being made of stone. The four of us have the tools to regain our freedom. If we work together, we can achieve anything. We're already on this path. Everything is laid out. It's laid out perfectly.
Do you hear that, gladiators? Our new patron wishes for us to fight with her. By the will of the patrons and the people lusting for spectacle, we fight. Learptulla, our patron, our will is now yours.
By speed of serpent's tongue, send a distress call for aid through all emergency Draco Federation channels.
All signals are broadcasting. The Awakened, they're at the door.
So the day of our retribution has finally come. May the Space Lords of Death come to collect their tainted souls. Now place one token upon your lesser eye, so that the Hellgaters are paid up front. Raise your sabers with me this last time, you scaly, bloated, bearded dragons. Have your blasters take aim! By the will of the space gods, we will not go silently into the dark void! Huzzah!
It's done! The ship is ours!
Learptulla!
That beeping. It's an emergency beacon. They know we've taken the ship. Who here knows how to pilot?
I think I do. I think I was good at it too.
Aluminium Plate 1, Section 2. As the writings state, Organi drones, who were recently freed from the reptilian-induced amnesia, appeared to be subconscious masters and experts of at least 2 subjects. Every freed Organi drone found their place among the newly vacant niches on the Margolis, but they remained unable to remember their identities from before the memory wipe. And as the rest of the crew discovered skills they were most comfortable executing, it was Learptulla who emerged more uncomfortable because she was incredibly good at every skill. She was incredible at combat and adept at command and strategy. She was phenomenal at physics, biology, and chemistry and could comprehend the toughest of languages. She revealed herself to be perfect in every way imaginable, but severely imperfect in her absolute perfection, since her only flaw was not knowing who she actually was. Once again, I wanted to apologize for using the term, quote, perfect, end quote. Perfection is a bias. This is something we all know, and as an academic I must make sure you all know this. I suspect my graduate student Mindy has revised certain words that I thought she knew the real meaning of. I mean, I know she views my work as perfection. But that's beside the point. I mean, why else would I keep her around if not for the flattery? Anyways, I digress. Back to the tablets.
Does anyone remember how we came to be here?
I remember nothing before the tanks opened.
I remember awakening for a bat. Nothing before that.
And you, Prixus?
Most definitely. But that is complicated to explain. Although I may be an organic drone like you all, we are blessed to remember until we disobey. You see, my gladiator brothers and sisters are performers of the martial blade and flesh. Having a formal identity makes us more desirable as fighters with cultural personalities of worlds conquered by the Draco. Only the skilled artisans, engineers, and laborers are wiped to become an organic drone. Cursed to never age. Cursed to forever serve. And cursed to wonder who they once were.
Can it be reversed?
Yes. But I fear these machines, they may not be on this vessels.
Then we'll find them where they are. It'll be our top priority. What's the status of the Margolis?
The hyperdrive engine should work now. But it still leaks.
We may need to find a planet. Queen Learptulla, are you transcribing what I say?
No, keep speaking. I'm listening. I just learned that I'm extremely good at multitasking and researching advanced reptilian star charts while effectively paying attention to an important discussion. Please continue.
Well, for us to complete all repairs, we may need to find a planet or system hidden enough to do it.
The ship's database shows a secluded binary star system at the tail edge of Sector 5. It gives off enough radiation. I think we could mask our leaking engines.
Our queen has commanded us to head to the binary star system.
Wait, everyone, there's another option. There's also a black hole close by. We'd have to maneuver to it. Assuming this ship is sturdy, we could use the gravitational pull to siphon off a lot of the leak from a safe distance, and then continue to fix the Margolis. Would this be a better option? I'd prefer us to get used to a discussion, rather than everyone just take my command.
The Queen commands us to discuss.
No, I'm not commanding you to discuss. I mean, you should discuss things instead of taking my command.
Our queen has commanded us not to take her command.
No! I command you all to discuss this freely.
All right. Though I can't explain it, I feel we don't know if we can survive the radiation coming out of the binary stars. The rays might seep in through our hull and kill everyone on board.
Thank you, Icon. I appreciate your concern. See, everyone? It's okay to speak freely. Any other thoughts?
What do you believe we should do, Learptulla?
Whether the original writings carried immense negative bias towards the concept of democracy, or whether this was supposed to be an ancient scene of comedy, it appears that the 3 Organi drones and 1 gladiator struggled dearly with this concept. I myself empathized. After all, almost 20 years ago, my PhD committee members would ask me for my personal direction of how to interpret these translations. But alas, their open invitation would unravel into a torrential experience of unexpected arguments that could never be truly resolved.
If Learptulla believes the binary stars is a good direction to go, then I choose to know the binary stars. And do you have a better
I
idea?
abstain from choosing a side. I need more options.
At first, the crew sounded objective, but then their discussions turned into advanced argumentative banter.
The binary star system. now sounds safer.
Your bias offends me. Will you all
please stop yelling?
All right.
Yelling.
Yelling! All right. We head to the binary stars. That's an order.
It is settled then. We head to the binary stars.
To the binary stars.
To the binary stars.
They'll learn to think for themselves, even if I have to force them to.
As I narrate this latest translation from AC 225-307L, I should mention that gigantic passages were scraped from the original aluminium tablets, dubbing some of Learptulla's story somewhat incomplete. However, thanks to tablet AC 225-307N, found in another space site 20 meters away, written in Classico-Reptilica Civilization 2, this tablet appears to hold similar passages that may fit in the incomplete sections of AC 225-307L. But, in this version, it gives rise to a different perspective, an arrogant perspective, a Draco-Reptilian perspective. As AC 225-307N begins, within the expanse of the dark void, the Margolis's radiation leaked an immense trail. If only the crew were aware that a reptilian had caught a whiff of their cosmic radioactive scent. The reptilian Captain Nerog, commander of the Draco Federation Raptor-class warship known as the Peacebringer. The reptilian Captain Nerog, a reptilian born with a silver spoon wrapped around his forked tongue. To those who were not reptilian, he was the slayer of species, the scourge of the void, and the conqueror of worlds. But to the Draco reptilian elite, he was an honorable gentleman, budding intellectual, and the inspiration to many a young hatchling. He was learned in the ways of galactic warfare, reptilian gaming theory, and genetic xenobiological engineering. He was also well versed in Draco-Reptilian philosophy. Nerog's ship arrived at the last location where the Margolis's radioactive trail existed. Within the dark void, hundreds of dead reptilians floated in orbit around a larger bulkhead debris.
She bleeds a radioactive sweetness that tingles the tongue of my ship.
Oh, those poor reptilian souls, floating in the cold. If I ever die, please inter my remains by a heated rock over a large warm lamp, sir.
Come the day if any of you die under my command, I will sure to scatter your coffins in orbit around a bright yellow sun. The lords of death will bless your husks with warmth for eternity.
We will find them, and we will eat their captain in front of their traitorous bunch, right before ejecting them into the void.
Huzzah!
Nay, crew, let us not be so quick to answer. For profits ought to be made in this unusual situation. How about we just kill their leader in front of them, re-wipe the remaining drones, and then sell them for triple at the Bastille? After all, is this not the clever reptilian way?
Profits are the reptilian way.
Very good, lads. Very good. And now let's pursue those Organi drone rebels.
Huzzah!
Now, as we travel, sir, please educate us. What are your thoughts on the postmodern reptilian condition we are facing modern Draco Federation time?
Oh, I'm delighted that you'd ask.
Finding a common vein in both tablets was one of the only accomplishments I was ever proud of. The discovery of two tablets telling the same story. After all those wasted years trying to wrestle with those ancient scribbles, I wanted someone else to be proud of my accomplishments. The night I cracked it, I tried to call my wife, but she didn't pick up. When I returned home, I found a letter on the dining table. In it were 20 pages for divorce proceedings. The first page contained only a few lines that simply read, "Ben and I need more. If you love us, then let us go. It would be the best for both of us if you sign." How is one supposed to react when your loved one tells you to let them go. I shouldn't even be talking about this. Where was I? Oh, yes. Finding the common story between patterns in both tablets L and N was the greatest find in my career. This meant Learptulla's story was important with two distinctly separate cultures. Two tragic worlds united by a single event. A surprise attack of a Raptor-class starship.
Whoa! What was that?
An Raptor-class vessel. I'm sure of it.
Ah!
Margolis has taken heavy damage near the command deck. The crews are rushing to seal the holes. The ship's coming around again! Something's wrong. I think they have control of our communication system.
Stolen DF vessel. This is the infamous Captain Nog of the Draco Federation. Under the authorization of Federal Code 469, I hereby place you all under arrest. If you resist, you will be destroyed.
We will not be destroyed and we will not be taken. Arm the crew. Ready whatever weapons we have non-essential personnel take shelter at the center of the ship. Go!
Learptulla, get the engines into hyperspace before it's too late.
No, the ship's stalking us. I suspect their scans are only focusing on the hyperdrive engines and not the solar sails.
We only have 2 laser cannons.
That's good enough. Charge them? We only have one option. Raise solar sails to half mast, only catch half the ions for a swift burst. Once we've got a good thrust, then we head directly into their underbelly and aim for their engines.
Translated from Classico Reptilica, Plate N.
Shall we take aim, sir?
Destroy the Margolis' command deck, but nothing more. Remember, we intend to sell the remaining Organi drones, not to kill them.
Aye, sir, aiming.
The Margolis swiftly gained speed with the solar sails at half-mast. As Learptulla predicted, Nog's crew couldn't detect the ship picking up speed due to the main hyperdrive engines giving no signs of impulse. Translated from Organi's, Plate L.
On my command, hard turn to space starboard. Get us right under their ship.
Translated from Classico Reptilica, Plate N.
Fire. Status report. Is their command deck no more?
The ship, it disappeared. Main engines have taken direct hits, but it's still functional.
So the Margolis has a reptilian bite after all.
We need to row.
Proceed. Then get us distance enough to reopen fire on the command deck.
Translated from Organi's, Plate L.
Its armor is too thick. We aren't causing enough damage to the engines.
Maintain position under the ship's underbelly and continue firing.
The Draco ship is attempting to roll. Engines are compromised.
Follow the roll. We must maintain position. Continue to fire at their engines. Wait, actually, I have an idea. Are there empty cryotanks stored under the docking bays?
Iken and the others loaded them before.
Is Iken in the docking bay sections now? Patch me through to him.
Patching.
Docking bay 3. What do you wish might me?
Load up as much cargo as possible in all the docking bays.
All docking bays are already filled.
Good. Get everyone out. We're gonna flush the bays.
Why?
We need to create a debris field to confuse the enemy guns. Give us enough time to get away.
As you wish. All of you, evacuate the docking bay at once. Head to the inner decks.
Iken headed to the exit, but as he did, he heard the mechanism for the docking gates jam.
Oh no, the docking gate is jammed. But I will make sure that gets open.
Iken closed the exit airlock doors after the last Organi went through. He then rushed to the jammed docking gate. He then energized his arms and forcefully pushed the gates open.
I choose this. I choose this. I choose this. I choose this death. Like me.
Death by the Nagas.
Iken! No!
Made a choice on his own.
The more Iken forced the gates open, the redder his energized hands became, until a single snap occurred, causing an instant depressurizing of the dock. The docking gate flew open, sucking everything out into the void. Translated from Classico Reptilica, Plate N.
All systems are locked on the Margolis now.
Fire!
As the Peacebringer opened fire on the Margolis, docks opened up all at once, releasing thousands of cryotanks and crates in varying sizes.
Sir, all of the docking bays are opening. There is now a cloud of debris. Empty cryotanks and cargo now in the way of our firing.
Impossible. Continue firing through the debris, then.
Icon had no idea if he could survive in the void. He only had a feeling, and rightly so. He remained alive in the empty coldness of the void due to his body being of hard silicone. He pulled close to the damaged engines of Nerog's Peacebringer. The radioactive heat further illuminated Icon's already burning body. Icon aimed his open palms at the Peacebringer's underbelly and fired hot balls of energy at the engine. Icon kept firing until he was hungry, tired, and cold. Icon then fell into a slumber and slowly froze.
The distilled cooling tank burst. Our nuclear reactor is about to overload.
Quickly, my reptilians! Activate the escape pods and tell them that Nog died valiantly in the eyes of Naga and the Space Lords of Dare.
Nerog's command deck ripped open, exposing everyone to the void. His crew perished instantly and unpleasantly. The wreckage from the ship created fast-moving debris in all directions, some of which were pulled towards the desert planet of Moreau. Translated from Organi's, Plate L.
What a beautiful death.
It was Icon's choice. He wasn't ordered to do this. All will sing their songs for the eons after.
Green, enough! I command all personnel, ride the wave!
Brace for impact. Grab onto something. We did it, my queen. We survived an attack and destroyed them gloriously.
The Draco are gone for now, but more will come.
Salvage what you can from the ship. Focus on anything we can use for repairs. We mourn, and then we prepare for when the Draco come back.
The tablets L and N diverge at this point, and Nerog is mentioned no more when we head back to tablet L. But just because someone is not mentioned doesn't necessarily mean they are gone. Regardless, that is another story for another time. The tablet L returns to Learptulla and her crew shortly after this incident. Oh, and unfortunately it looks like the offices are about to be locked. Although I wish to continue translating and adjusting Mindy's work, perhaps this point is a good place to stop. Even we academics indeed need sleep. Recording done.
This has been The Epic of Learptulla, Episode 1, The Awakening of Heroes. Narrated and translated by Dr. B.B. Wagner, Professor of Linguistics, Xenopaleoanthropology, and Xenofolklore of State College University. Further assistance was provided by me, Mindy St. Clair, PhD candidate. Compiled and edited by Neil Thompsett and Angela Jorgensen. Academic publishing by Thompsett Publishing 2024. Voices by Neil Thompsett, Derek Ueda, Angela Jorgensen, and Jessica Lutton. Sound editing, vocal production, mixing, and scoring by Jonnic Thompsett.